Is this a vintage lens with enough characteristics it can battle the Helios 44? Hi and welcome to this review. Today we are looking at this old lens, which is a EBC fujinon.t from Fuji Photo Film with a focal length of 135mm and an f-stop of 3.5. I have to admit, the maximum f-stop of 3.5 doesn't seem to be that much impressive, but I'm an old micro four thirds shooter, and when used on a full frame lens, this translates to an f-stop of 1.7 on MFT, and the focal length should be around 70mm if you're coming from micro four thirds. So I think this is a very useful f-stop, and also the focal length is very nice. But we have to look at this lens in particular. This is a very light lens. I got it used and it has a M42 mount. I bought the cheapest M42 to EF adapter I could find on Amazon, and I used it on my Panasonic S1. So I got out there and shot the little test film, so enjoy. First, let's talk about build quality. This lens is very small and reasonably light. It's all metal, and there is some nice rubber on the focus and the aperture ring. So I think the build quality is very fine. One problem I had after I put on the adapter was that I wasn't able to move the aperture easily. It's very tight and I need to use a lot of force. I don't know if it's just my copy of this lens, but it seems to be a problem with the adapter, so I believe it's not only a problem on my copy. There's a very long focus throw, 180 degrees the lens extends as you pull the focus. In my honest opinion, I don't really like those long focus throws. Others will like it, but 180 degrees is very long. But if you are in the market for a full manual lens with a long focus throw, this will do the job for you. So all in all, this thing is built like a tank. You will not have to worry about build quality, except for the rather sticky aperturing. The image quality is what you would expect from a very old lens. At the open aperture of f3.5, the image is rather soft, and the contrast is also a little bit low. You get a big improvement if you stop down at f5.6. It gets much sharper and the contrast also gets much better. Also, chromatic aberrations are better handled too. It gets even better at f8, and at f11 I can't see a difference, so f8 seems to be the sweet spot of this lens. And if you want to use it wide open, you need to consider that there might be some issues. This lens breathes a little bit. I think for a telephoto lens it's not that extreme, so for video use it's quite nice. But when we buy a vintage lens, what we mostly look out for is the quality of the bokeh. It's not as swirly and rounded as it is on the Helios 44, but I think I like the hazy feeling, and it's also a little bit busy, but in a very smooth kind of way. I know that sounds contrary, but look at the pictures again and tell me what you think. Regarding focus distance, this is absolutely not a macro lens. The minimal focus distance is 1.5 meters, and at 135 millimeters, that's not a lot, and I wasn't able to get anything close to macro, so don't expect any macro capabilities from this lens. What I really like about this lens is its small size and lightweight, and on a full frame body, even if it's only 3.5, it gives very nice autofocus backgrounds. If you are in the market to buy this lens, you need to look for it. There are not a lot of copies, and I got mine used from a photographer, and he gave me this lens for, I think it was 30 or 40 bucks. So it's very cheap. It's comparable to the Helios 44 in terms of price. In terms of quality, I think the Helios holds a special place for its bokeh. This lens is also very nice if you want very low contrast images, wide open, and a little bit of fuzzy autofocus background. This lens will suit your needs, and I am very satisfied with this lens. I like to go out with it sometimes and shoot with it, and I really like the pictures that this lens produces. I really hope you enjoyed this review of the Fujinon 135 f3.5. If you like this content, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you want to know more about this lens, please feel free to ask in the comments down below. I hope you have a nice day and create something extraordinary.